Now, Wednesday season 2 has come out, and this is my review of the first two episodes of the new season of Wednesday. Now, in the beginning of the new season, Wednesday does a classic Wednesday thing and decides to spend a break going after a serial killer. She ends up tracking the serial killer down using her powers, and she ends up face to face with him, and she gets caught, but she doesn't really get caught. So the serial killer ends up getting caught in the end with Thing's help. And after that, she just heads back to school like normal. Nothing really happened. I mean, no, a normal person getting kidnapped by a serial killer would be horrified, but for Wednesday, it's just another day. So she heads back to school, and this time there is a few changes. Apparently, her younger brother Pugsley is going to be joined to school. Now he has electric shock powers, I think, and he's going to be joining school, and he's going to be roommates with the guy with the beast from the first season. And that's gonna be interesting because that guy doesn't really seem to be want to hang out with Pugsley because Pugsley is a bit strange, and well, all the Addams family members are strange. So they end up hanging out together out of necessity. And what else happens? Well, Wednesday and Enid see each other again after the break, and Enid's part of the wolf pack now because she's a werewolf now, so she's a part of the pack, and those people are always hanging around her. And then Wednesday has a stalker, which we got a clue about at the end of the previous season. She has a stalker now, and the stalker is sending messages to her. So she's really excited about a stalker. She thinks he's some brilliant mastermind. And Enid sees this and she's scared, obviously, because she's just a regular person, even though she is a werewolf. And what else happens? Oh, there's a new principal at her school because the previous principal died in the last season. And this guy, he seems like a really happy, energetic, positive kind of guy, but something seems a little bit off about the guy. I mean, this feels like he's a bit shady in the beginning itself. He's a bit too cheery for me. Now, what else happens? Well, Wednesday also ends up getting a vision about Enid's death, and apparently it's her fault. And so she's running around trying to figure out what happens and how it happens. And with the stalker's actually responsible for Enid's death. The stalker's the one who kills her. And then there's what was his name? Tyler's dad, who was the former sheriff, but he's not a sheriff anymore. And he sees Wednesday and he wants her help to solve a case involving a bunch of black birds. And she doesn't take it seriously in the beginning. But then after the vision, she decides to go see him, and he ends up dead. And a friend of his ends up dead before that. And Wednesday gets caught by the police, but she managed to get off because her dad's a lawyer. So apparently that's really easy. And what else happens in the episodes? Well, the stalker ends up capturing Enid and a new guy that she likes when they were hanging out. And they set a trap. Well, it's not a trap, but they set a trial of sorts. And they tie the two of them together and they put blades at the top that's going to come down on them. Unless Wednesday finds out where she is and solves the puzzle. And she does. She ends up solving the puzzle. And she saves Enid and the other guy. And at the end of it, the stalker reveals themselves. It's apparently a girl at Nevermore who's a super fan of Wednesday, who can turn invisible. So it's basically just a normal girl who can turn invisible, and she just wanted to get Wednesday's approval, I guess, to prove how good she is. And so that's why she did the whole thing with Enid. And Wednesday's really disappointed because it's just a little girl who can turn invisible. So the stalkers reveal, and Basically, this I guess that means the stalker isn't the main villain in the story in this season, and that's over with. I guess it feels like a bit of a letdown, considering that at the end of the first season, she found out she had a stalker. And what else happens in these episodes? Well, Xavier's no longer there because the actor's facing some problems, so the character's no longer there. And Bianca's still there, and the new principal wants her help and to raise funds for the school because the school's really lacking funds. I guess that's a big problem. And then we also get the Adams family in this season apparently because the Adams family we didn't really get to see them in the previous season, and I really wanted to see them because from what I see in the cartoons, the Adams family is really fun to watch. And Morticia and Gomez are gonna be there because the principal wants Morticia to be head of a fundraiser. So she's thinking about it and just hanging around. So we're gonna get to see the entire Adams family in this season, which is really cool. And yeah, the first two episodes seem, well, okay, I guess. Now I feel like there was a bit too much hype around the second season at the because the first season was so awesome and so different. It caught people off guard, and because of that, everyone's really excited for the second season. And so far, the second season it seems okay, but feels like a bit of excitement missing, especially since the stalker's already been revealed. It's just a girl, so it's no big deal. It's just a girl at the school, and I don't think she really posed any threat. So yeah, it feels like there's something missing. No, we don't know what's or why, who actually decides to go after Enid and kill her. But I guess we're gonna have to wait and see about that. So yeah, the first two episodes seem good, but feels like it needs a bit more. But it's only the first two episodes, and let's wait and see what happens.